Hey guys, Phy here. Today I just wanted to talk about mouse sensitivity and finding the right sense for you when you're playing, I guess, like general settings in Overwatch as well. The good thing about this channel is that while it's still smaller, I can read literally every single comment, and someone asked for this video, so I thought I'd just do it when I get some free time. Mouse sensitivity, or sense as most people call it, is just how fast you move your mouse around. If you have a gaming mouse, you'll have like a built-in program where you can set this up. Probably you can set up like 1 or 2 or 3 different senses that you can switch between. If you just have a normal mouse, it's somewhere in your Windows settings as well, but most games always have this kind of sensitivity setting as well just built into it. The idea is that you have one like standard sense, I guess, just across your computer, and then when you go into a game, if you need to adjust it, you can adjust it in there, and every other game just stays the same. The reason sensitivity matters so much in Overwatch, or just in like an FPS in general, I guess, if you're coming from League, you probably won't realize this as much, but it matters when you need to be more accurate. When you're actually trying to shoot someone, like in Overwatch, the whole point is that you shoot and kill people, right? Or you aim it at your allies, I guess. Like everything is basically very targeted and skill based. When you have a good sensitivity, or the right sensitivity for you, it just makes everything much easier. It makes you much more accurate, and in turn, I guess, much more deadly. So FPS in general, you actually want a lower sense so you can be more accurate. In things like Counter-Strike as well, it matters when like 1 pixel can be the difference between a headshot or just missing the target. For MOBAs in general, like League or Dota or whatever, having a higher sense is kind of a bit more common because you're going to be doing more swiping motions. You're going to be going from one side of the screen to the other more often, and you're going to be moving the map around with your mouse and stuff as well. You're not really aiming for a headshot in the game or anything like that. Mouse accuracy is not as important, which is why we can actually afford to have it at a higher sense and just move it quicker. Overwatch is weird because it's a mix of both. Like, it's an FPS with MOBA elements to it, like skills and stuff as well, and you kind of actually really want somewhere in the middle, but it depends on you as well. The first thing is any sense can work if you practice enough with it. Doesn't matter what the game is. You can play League on a really low sense, you can play on a really high one. I'm pretty sure Dyrus had like an insanely high DPI for a long time, and it doesn't really matter, you can still do it. Overwatch is way faster paced than most FPS games. It's more hectic, you need to move your mouse more as well, which is why we kind of want a little bit of a higher sensitivity. Personally, I actually have a very low sense, like probably too low for League as well, because I just come from a Counter-Strike background. Like, that's what I played before I played League. For AD carry, you kind of need to be more accurate anyway with like your attack moving and stuff, so I can get away with it, but it's just what I'm used to. It's what I know and I'm good with, so I don't really want to change it. In Overwatch is good for me though, because I like playing Widowmaker, McCree, Hanzo. Now all 3 of these need to be very accurate, and when you have a lower sensitivity, it's actually much easier to get those headshots. The other thing as well in Overwatch is that it depends on the hero and what you actually want to do. Now this is kind of like really high level, honestly. Like, you don't necessarily want to do this if you're just a casual player, but if you're playing a lot of Overwatch, then you should consider this at least. If you're kind of a tank character like a Reinhardt, Roadhog or whatever, it doesn't really matter as much, but you probably want a bit of a lower sense just to be a little bit more accurate, and it's easier to control as well when you're charging or just when you have your shield up. For DPS characters, a lower sense is more accurate, so that's really good for trying to get headshots. Like Widowmaker, for example, you kind of want a low sensitivity so that when you're doing flick shots, you can actually pull them off. Genji, Tracer are the other kind where you actually want a higher sense to 180 more often. Now this is a really big thing actually. In Overwatch, you're going to be doing 180 camera movements way more, like turning from basically facing forwards to facing behind you quite instantly, because people do flank a lot. The thing with this is you actually need a higher sensitivity to really pull that off. If you have a low sensitivity, you're not really going to be able to do that camera movement quick enough to react. Mercy and Zenyatta, or just supports in general, actually have an auto lock mechanic in a lot of them, or they just have kind of like AoE stuff, I guess. So actually a high sensitivity to switch targets is normally better. You don't need to be as accurate. So that's pretty in depth, honestly. Like, that is kind of way above the level that most people are probably at. I'm not at that level at all. I just pick one sensitivity for all of my stuff, and actually I'm going to show you what my settings are, my sensitivity, so you get an idea. Now don't just copy these because you think this is going to be a good idea. Honestly, just go for what you actually want to do anyway. But my video settings, I have it on medium just so that it's not too taxing on my computer, because I don't have the best computer in the world. But for controls, this is the bit we actually care about mostly. My sensitivity is 15. Now this is really low. I did say before, I come from a very like Counter-Strike background, so my sensitivity is always low, even in League, but this is particularly low because I like playing Widowmaker. Widow is definitely my most played hero at the moment, and I love sniping people, and just having the extra mouse accuracy while you're having this low sensitivity is actually really good. But honestly, I should probably have it a bit higher for Overwatch. The only thing that I've actually changed is I have a couple of buttons like next to my thumb on my mouse, and I actually have my melee auto attack onto one of those buttons, so I can just kind of click it, I guess, while I'm actually using my mouse still, which is much more comfortable for me. Now with this 15 mouse sensitivity, doesn't mean a lot if I don't tell you what I'm actually using my mouse. So I'm on 900 DPI at the moment. This is kind of my compromise. It's a bit higher than I'm used to, but I'm trying to get used to this. So 900 DPI, 15 sensitivity in the game, and that's kind of how my mouse settings are. And I find this to be very accurate, but you are kind of a little bit weak when you're doing your 180 turns. So that wraps up this video, and this was kind of more of a discussion video, I guess. I kind of wrote down a few points and then I just wanted to like bash it out. Basically, I haven't scripted this entire thing. It's not probably as well thought out as some of my League stuff, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. Remember to subscribe to this channel, and also let me know what kind of other discussion stuff or stuff you want me to cover with tips or guides, I guess, as well. As I'm learning Overwatch, I'm going to be doing more of these videos, but obviously the highlights are going to be one of the biggest things on this channel. Anyway, that wraps up this video, so I'll catch you next time.